Alright, hey guys, this is my newest redstone creation, and you're probably wondering what it is, but it's another elevator, and it's a lot better than the others because it has floors and buttons. So right now we're on the first floor. Let's say I want to go to the third floor. Push the button. There's the second floor. And here's the third floor. You can tell we're about where the third floor should be. And if I want to go to the fourth floor, now I'm on the fourth floor. If I want to go to the second floor, now I'm on the second floor. And now I'm going to go ahead and explain kind of how this works and a lot of the challenges I ran into while building it. 8 blocks. No. Hold on. Get rid of this stone wall. There we go. This is the redstone. It's not as bad as it looks, I promise. Alright, so a lot of this, it's not as complicated as it looks. If you've watched my other elevator videos, it's the same basic concept for linking more than one piston elevator together. And the reason I have to do this is because pistons will only push 12 blocks. So to get something to work like this, each story has to be a separate elevator in a different column. And so that's the elevator. And then this is the clock that makes it function whenever there's a pulse in, a constant pulse. This block extends, it completes the clock, and the elevator goes. Now, the thing that makes the buttons work are these three little things right here. And they are pulse extenders. And what they do is basically whenever you put in the pulse from like a button or whatever, it'll extend it a certain amount depending on how many repeaters are in the back. And I first found out about these on Seth Bling's channel a few days ago, and he said he saw them on Minecraft Addict's channel, and I'll have both of those linked. Hopefully there's annotations on the screen. And so these are the pulse extenders. Now, the way that this works is if I want to go from the first floor to the second floor, I push a button. That button, through all this mess, leads to this pulse extender, which extends it just enough for the block that I'm standing on to go from the first story to the second story. And also, and, well, yeah. And so that's a difference of 1 story, is what this extender does. If you want to go a difference of 2 stories, you press a button that goes to this extender. And if you want to go from like the fourth to the first or the first to the fourth, you push a button and it goes to this extender. And the only reason I can use only 3 extenders is because all 3 of these floors are exactly 9 blocks in elevation difference. And that's important, and that's something I ran into on my prototype as a problem on my prototype over here, because this one was 9 blocks from this one. This is or no, this one is 12 blocks from this one. Yeah, this one's 12 blocks, and then 12 blocks, and then when you get to the top, if you want it to be 12 blocks from that one, you end up having to stand here, and you can't do that because the pistons are already pushing 12 blocks, and this is as high as they go, and you can't make it push more than 12. So in order to have this top story work, each one of these is 9 blocks apart. And then that way, instead of ending up having to stand up here, you only have to stand over here. And so that's the reason that works. Ran into quite a few challenges building this. One of the most obvious ones is trying to keep all this redstone in order and with the use of buttons, trying to make sure it doesn't tangle up and the signals don't get crossed. Another challenge that I ran into is, if you notice these invisible blocks, if you haven't watched my other elevator video, is that these blocks are stair blocks. And right now I'm in Minecraft version 1.1, and the reason for that is because in Minecraft version 1.1 there's the wooden stairs, and there's 4 different ways you can place these, and depending on the way you place them, their block ID changes. All of them have block ID 53, but they also have an addition. There's 53 colon and then another number. 1, 2, 3, and 4 apply to these. And if you set it to something higher, set 53 colon 5, you get invisible blocks. Now in Minecraft 1.2, they introduced upside down stairs, and so now instead of getting invisible blocks, you get an orientation of upside down stairs. And so these were effectively, the invisible blocks were taken out, and these are really important because while I can go through them, pistons still push them, and that's what makes the elevator work. An alternative for this used to be fence gates, and those worked really well until they added in that first, whenever there's a block update, the gate closes. When the gate's open, it has the same properties as the invisible stair block, but when it's closed, it doesn't suit our needs. And if there's redstone that touches it, it opens, and you see that block update caused the other one to close, and it's a huge mess. I'm pretty sure it still works if you're dedicated enough to try and figure out a way to have the gates have constant redstone powering them, but then again, there's been a few updates. I'm not sure if that still works anymore, and I wasn't about to mess with it with the amount of redstone and block updates I have going on here. So I had to downgrade my Minecraft, and I just moved in the save file thinking everything would be fine, but of course it wasn't. My save file was in Anvil format, the new format that Jeb introduced to increase the world height. And so the world would open, but any updates made to it after I converted it to Anvil didn't show up. So I had to use MCEdit and change this to a schematic, imported it into the 1.1 world, and so now it works. Couple other challenges. If you notice on this model, the entrances aren't always on the same side. They're different, and that's because I try to have the elevator as vertical as possible, and so the first column's here, and then it shifts over this way, and then up here it shifts over this way, and because of that, the orientation of these 4 pistons make it so the entrances have to be different. And over here, I should have just slanted it to the same direction, but I wasn't thinking and I didn't, and that's why on floor 3 it looks like this instead of looking like the other floors where it's nice and flush. Come on, get in. Go! Come on. Anyhow, you can see it from here, where it's nice and flush. And so if I was to flip it and make that column over here, then that would work, but I'm not about to change it. Other things, if you notice, because of... This is really annoying. I should have extended this. There we go. If you notice, the way to make sure that I only have to use 3 pulse repeaters is this. This is the one that'll extend me 2 stories. Now if I'm on the 2nd floor and I go up 2, I end up on the 4th floor. If I go down 2, I'll go to the 1st floor, and then it'll send me back up. So this button, if I get on the downside, will just bring me back to where I start. It'll bring me down to floor 1, and then it'll bring me back up to floor 2, and I'm right back where I started. Now if I'm on the 3rd floor, another issue I have is here it doesn't say same, it says error, and there's a reason for that. If you go to the 4th floor, when you go to the 4th floor, if you look at this piston over here, what happens when going up, on the 3rd floor, if you go up 2 stories, theoretically it would send you up to the 4th, and then back down to the 3rd, and you ended up where you start. But the problem is that this piston punches you in the face before it punches the platform that you're standing on. And so you end up not where you're supposed to be. And that's a bit problematic, and darn it, come on. I'll show you that now. So we go up, and then the piston hits us, and that's the platform we're supposed to be standing on. And so now we're stuck in the elevator, but I added in an emergency button so you can get out, but now you're stuck on the roof, but whatever. And that's pretty much it. It's not compact, it's not pretty. This is mainly just a proof of concept, again, like many of my other vids. If I'm motivated or bored enough in the future, I'll try and make it work with fence gates so that it'll work in the most current version, 1.2.5, and anything more current than that, it should still work. And then I'll also try and consolidate all of this a bit. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked it. If there's enough requests, I guess I can put the world up for download, but again, this is a 1.1 save, and unless you're running Minecraft 1.1, then it's kind of useless. You'll just have an elevator full of upside down stairs. If you have any challenges or things you want me to build pertaining to redstone in Minecraft, if it's not too outrageous, I'm not incredible with redstone, but if it's something that sounds like a good idea and I'm willing to try, I'll go ahead and I'll give it a shot, and if I can get it done, I'll post a video of it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Alright, I know after what you just saw, you're probably thinking there's no way that elevator will fit in my house or anything, so here's a new prototype that I've been working on after the completion of the last video, and it's pretty small, very compact, and I think it'll work really well. It requires a bit more manual labor, but as you can see, I can go from the 1st floor to the 2nd floor, and from the 2nd floor all the way up to the 4th floor if I want. And each of these stories are exactly 9 blocks apart too, so that's pretty cool. This is a neat alternative if you're not good with redstone and you need to go up and down. I would recommend this. If there's enough requests, I'll make a tutorial on how to make it. So yeah, thanks. Bye.